Hi, my name is Chris. Let me introduce how to utilize Agent Builder for building, generating AI agent program. This is especially for small and medium enterprises. As we know, there has been a very big paradigm shift on the area of enterprise application services because the generative AI and LLM brought big transformation on MIS ecosystem, actually on all area of technology, management innovation, and way of collaboration. Because the concept of ontology actually provides a bridge between GenAI LLM and real world while implementing those information into the application system. Actually, ontology is a set of concepts and categories in a subject of business domain area that shows their properties and the relationships between them. There's a company named Palantir, as I think everybody knows that company is so famous. The company has provided the above concept and leading the world and may further expand its business realm into almost every area of industry and business domain. So let me say shortly about what is ontology. It is the concept of integrating the real world data and make it into the context. This is a list of data which allows the data to view and implement the real world of business process. There is a terminologies like class, category, entity, node, instance, property, relationships. All of them actually is the kind of methodology or tools or units to express the word into business system and application system. Some of the terminology still used in the world of ontology, but some of them are not used anymore. So the way of ontology, the approach of ontology is that it integrates the legacy data and design view, and it integrates those legacy data concept with the knowledge graph data view, which provides a stronger relationships between data and nodes and entities. And this kind of well-set data ontology provides a good protocol to collaborate with LLM through the prompt of GenAI. And then this again supports generating a high-quality application agent with GenAI. And then this kind of cycle will operate through the feedback, gathering the feedback and implement it and apply it to the new concept of ontology. So this is a kind of a feedback loop to enhance continuously the ontology design. So the ontology is actually integrating the real world data and generating the context. So this one shows the relationship of the nodes and entities and the terminologies there. And then it finally generates a semantic process, semantic platforms for operating the enterprises. So the paradigm shift has been occurring in almost every area of technology, especially for contents and application area. And the contents are merged, visualized, and editable with ontology. And this one collaborate with the prompt of GenAI and utilizing the inference capability of LLM. And this kind of tools, RAC LangChain, actually supports querying and integrating and searching the right terminologies and meaning and contents from LLM. And then finally, it builds an agent. All of the concept and information will be implemented. And on the background of whole this process, there is a concept of ontology, which provides a kind of environment, setting up the environment of generating prompts, generating agents. So the ontology actually brings a real sense of integration. It observes the traditional contents, the quantitative kind of manifestation of the world, and remodel it to integrate the real world business situation, integrating the qualitative views. So ontology brings the real meaning of business process integrity through hybrid approach. It integrates the contents of both traditional RDB, relational DB, and the vector DB, while organizing the contents and generating the context, and integrates the concept of legacy modeling framework with expanded knowledge graph, generating the semantic process. So finally, ontology brings a semantic world into the application. So this is a very brief prototype, how ontology looks like. It shows the components and products and the property of them, and it integrates the technology and relationship that knowledge graph provides, and it continues repairing and enhancing the concept. And for example, it integrates the detailed process of a production and integrates the property which is necessary to manage the production process. And what is important while building an ontology is that because there has been, most of the companies already have been investing on legacy information system, so it has to protect the existing investment and reuse the existing values which has been proved already. So the ontology actually transformed the way of business process design and way of operating data while utilizing and integrating legacy system already proved. And it allows insights, making the insights move into the action. Okay, then how are we going to start implementing the ontology? Because there usually already has been a legacy system. It may copy the information and idea of design of legacy concept and then expand it through the type of ontology design metadata structure. So ontology is actually revolutionizing the industry because it encompasses the qualitative schema together with the quantitative schema together as a hybrid mode. So for example, this is a kind of very brief information how I started integrating the legacy data for generating an ontology data set. So I have integrated all this kind of legacy information manifesting the process, function, program, system. And then this is kind of knowledge graph type of information, which shows the starting node and end node and the relationship between these two nodes and relevant property. And this one is integrating the concept of enterprise architecture, which provides a capability which also can be connected and linked with this kind of process and functions as well. And then there can be issues and problems there. And there is a real transactions. For this data, I have integrated and mixed up, and then generated a kind of ontology data set. So the approach and process of establishing ontology looks like this. This is not very much different from the existing and legacy approach, but the only difference is that ontology provides a kind of meaning into the data through the relationship and the property. So for implementing ontology system, we may gather and through the concept of metadata schema. So it may contain the informations like a domain, capability, master data, instance, kind of things. And there is a kind of ontology structure of fundamental structure there. So we refer it and then integrates the relationships, which the knowledge graph or kind of semantic representation of the data elements, and then make it displayed into the workflow, real workflow, and then finally visualize the semantic process. And what is most important is that there is an intention of the end user, so that all this process should be focused on the intention. Intention actually means the context, which the end user wants to implement it and realize. So this is a kind of very brief introduction about how to generate ontology. And another kind of idea that very important is that we have to secure the current approach of setting up ontology. I mean the quality of the ontology. So there always should be a cross check if the design is correctly defined and generated, so that it can protect the risk of hallucination. So what is the best way of protecting the hallucination? Actually, ontology will bring a safest way of approaching LLM by providing a way of thinking, a path of data, and business process by nature of ontology itself. So the governing the LLM way of inference, because LLM goes on its own way, but we have to control and govern and show the way how LLM should proceed while searching and integrating and processing the big data for generating intended way of application system finally. So there should be a continuous effort for discovering and improving the way to safeguard the data to be protected from hallucination. So there can be a kind of a various type of algorithm which may provide a cross-checking method. So you may utilize a mind map or interrelationships between the data and this kind of heat maps, so that we can make secure how the logic trees and our business process are securely implemented and designed. And actually, the ontology way of design allows expansion of data relationship across the borders. So legacy technology of data relationship has been closed to quantitative area, but ontology approach allows expanding the relationship to qualitative analysis area. So it allows enterprise-wide integrated view for decision-making across departments and across the partners and clients. So it is possible to connect relationship not only across internal departments, but also across the clients and externally. So I think that it is a mandatory solution, and there's no reason but to transform the system design into the ontology-based management system. So then what is important is that on what area we have to implement first, how we approach a big bang or step by step. So rather than approaching with the big bang type, we rather approach with less sensitive application and with lesser risks. Example like digital twin systems. So we have to make sure making success on small business area first. Then it is the way to take low risk and also the low cost. So that we have to show the success case first. So once started, and then we become to aware of the way of thinking through the ontology, and then also the path of business operation and the culture of the enterprise will be changed. So there should be a continuous improvement way of cycle. So this is a kind of monitoring system if the ontology way of process management is securely generated, and we have to monitor if the planned implementation and enhancement of ontology is occurring as we have expected. And this one shows the kind of example how we utilize and implement ontology idea on what area of business. So maybe most of the enterprise owners are interested on QNTS and loss management. QNTS means quality net troubleshooting. So this is related with the kind of production design. And in this area, actually we need gathering data from production and design area of departments. And then we gather and integrate all those data so that you can view the status of QNTS loss and the cause analysis. So utilizing the ontology design concept, it is not very difficult to integrate all those different views of data and then show that in the way of digital twin. Another example is that we may utilize it on the logistics business process, so that the logistics system may be composed with order processing, inventory management, and delivery management, meaning that OMS and order processing, WMS, inventory management, and transformation management. And this is a very wide area of business, but utilizing the ontology way of approach, we may gather and integrate all those different kind of information together. And then we may make a monitorization and keep track of status of the business process for logistics. This is another area of master data management, because in many cases, the master data management cause a big trouble if there is a mistake on this type of data, because it is a very fundamental data. So that this is the one to show the cost benefit or impact of the cost by the program on the 4M master data management. So this kind of relationship, to make it realized, we connect it with the accounting system, so that we integrate the accounting system and 4M data management relationship between them, and then we map into the accounting, and then finally we generate the cost analysis by the operation, status of operation, quality of operation of the raw material and labor and machines, like 4M data. So you may finally identify and track 4M-based cost change management and cost impact change management system. The ultimate goal is that with all this kind of information, there should be a decision making process by the view of CEOs or management layers. But there also should be a kind of opinions from the different stakeholders. For example, the analysts, external analysts or internal analysts, and also the opinions from the site managers should be implemented and then referenced. So utilizing the ontology way of approach, it is not difficult to integrate and view different view of different stakeholders. So these are actually the kind of low risk but high value kind of area, so that ontology may be implemented and then show how to integrate all this kind of information and data, and then across the department and across the stakeholders, so that this kind of approach may be implemented through the digital twin, and then very efficient for helping the decision makers to make a better decision. Okay, thank you very much for listening.